Shots fired right across Lofton's barbershop in Scotlandville. One child, now dead. Two in serious condition. They were struck by gunfire while inside a car with their pregnant mother.
This is a very tragic incident.
It's something you don't want to witness, especially during the holidays.
We have an 8-year-old that was getting ready to have Thanksgiving, going to get a haircut with his family. They pull up to a barbershop and his life is cut short.
An ordinary afternoon turned into a nightmare. Gunfire erupting without warning, shattering the lives of a family caught in the crossfire. 8-year-old D'Ellen Daniels was ripped away from his loved ones, leaving a mother grieving, siblings scarred, and a community shaken to its core. Who were the men behind this senseless act? What led to this horrific crime? And why is one suspect still evading justice? This is a story of unanswered questions, a family's resilience, and a race against time to uncover the truth.
Covering after their mother's car was struck multiple times by bullets. The 3 juveniles were caught in the crossfire of a targeted drive-by shooting at a barbershop. Their mother and 2 other siblings unharmed. Now Corporal Sandra Watson, BRPD, say they're looking for the suspect.
The late afternoon of November 27, 2024, began as an ordinary day for Cortland Daniels and her family in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. The air was crisp with the promise of the holiday season just around the corner. As Cortland drove her 5 children to Lofton's barbershop on Swan Avenue, she had no inkling that her life would change irrevocably. What began as a typical family outing ended in unspeakable tragedy, leaving a community shattered and a nation grappling with the devastating consequences of gun violence. Cortland Daniels was known in her Baton Rouge community as a devoted mother of 7, soon to be 8, whose life revolved around her children. Her days were filled with the hustle and bustle of raising a large family, ensuring each child felt supported and loved. On any given day, Cortland could be found juggling school drop-offs, meals, and countless other responsibilities that came with being the cornerstone of her family. Her resilience and dedication were evident to all who knew her, and her children were the center of her world. Among her children was D'Ellen Daniels, an 8-year-old boy whose bright smile and boundless curiosity made him a favorite among his peers and teachers. D'Ellen, also known as Dill Pickle to his friends and family, was a child who exuded energy and joy, whether playing with his siblings or asking endless questions about the world around him. His teachers often remarked on his eagerness to learn, infectious laughter, and his ability to make friends effortlessly. D'Ellen had a special love for the color blue, a detail that would later become a poignant symbol during the family's mourning process. D'Ellen shared a close bond with his siblings, acting as both a playmate and a protector. His younger siblings adored him, often trailing behind him with wide eyes and endless admiration. He was the spirited little brother to his older siblings, bringing levity to even the most mundane days. For Cortland, D'Ellen was a constant source of pride and happiness, a reminder of the love and joy that filled her home. On that fateful day, Cortland drove 3 of her kids, including D'Ellen, to Lofton's barbershop in Scotlandville, unaware of the danger ahead. When the drive-by shooting occurred, it was D'Ellen who bore the brunt of the violence. Struck by multiple bullets, his young life was abruptly and tragically cut short. The impact of his loss echoed far beyond his immediate family, leaving a gaping void in the hearts of those who knew him. The other 2 children injured in the attack faced their own battles in the wake of the tragedy. While their physical injuries would eventually heal, the emotional scars of witnessing such violence were far more profound. The youngest members of the Daniels family struggled to comprehend the sudden loss of their brother, while the older siblings grappled with a mixture of grief and anger. The first sign of danger came with the sharp roar of an engine. A vehicle pulled alongside the mother's Honda Accord, its windows tinted and its intent ominous. Then, without warning, gunshots erupted, shattering the fragile normalcy of the day. The sound of bullets ricocheting off metal and glass was deafening. Chaos ensued as the children screamed, and Cortland, instinctively trying to shield them, gripped the steering wheel with desperate determination. The horrifying sound of gunfire was a jarring interruption to what should have been a peaceful moment with her family. As over 20 bullets tore through the vehicle, Cortland's car veered off course, crashing into a tree near the barber shop. The impact stopped the car, but the damage had already been done. 8-year-old Delon Daniels lay motionless, his tiny body riddled with bullets. 2 of his siblings were injured, their cries mingling with the distant sound of sirens approaching the scene. Cortland, though physically unscathed, was paralyzed with shock and grief, her mind unable to process the magnitude of what had just happened.
Covering after their mother's car was struck multiple times by a bullet.
First responders finally arrived, their faces grim as they assessed the situation. D'Ellen was rushed to a nearby hospital, but despite the efforts of skilled medical professionals, his injuries proved fatal. The vibrant young boy, known for his infectious laughter and boundless energy, was gone. His siblings, though injured, were expected to recover, their physical wounds uncomparable to the pain of losing a brother. As Cortland sat in the hospital, clutching the hands of her surviving children, her mind raced. How could such violence have found its way to her family? What could have motivated such a senseless act? The questions swirled, unanswered, as grief and despair consumed her. For Cortland, the loss of D'Ellen was a pain unlike any she had ever known. Yet amidst her grief, she remained a pillar of strength for her surviving children. Her love for them became her anchor and driving force as she navigated the unthinkable. Amidst the pain, a small ray of hope appeared. The following day, November 28th, Cortland gave birth to her 8th child. The newborn's cries filled the hospital room, a poignant reminder that even in the darkest moments, life finds a way to endure. This moment of life amidst loss was bittersweet, marking both an ending and a beginning. While Cortland grappled with her grief and the challenges of welcoming a new life into the world, the Baton Rouge community rallied around her family. News of the drive-by shooting spread quickly, sparking outrage and calls for justice. Prayer vigils were organized, where community members lit candles and shared memories of D'Ellen. At these gatherings, the air was thick with sorrow, but also resolve, a determination to combat the scourge of gun violence that had claimed yet another innocent life. The tragedy became a rallying cry for action, uniting neighbors and strangers in their grief and anger.
Anything that go on in our life. But as we all know, Miss Cortland Daniels, which I'm cool with, no, we ain't no A1, day one, best friends or nothing like that. But I respect her, and I deal with her a lot on other occasions and other stuff, and she supports everything that me and mine ever have going on. First, I'll rest in peace to her baby. She was not looking to spend her Thanksgiving like this, which everybody's feeling it. I have gotten approval by her, per her, literally just now. She just gave birth to her newest baby. Yes, she was big pregnant. As of yesterday, had her newest baby this morning. Sad to say. But happily to say, because she had a healthy baby this morning, y'all. So don't take that from this. But I wanted to jump off a fund to fund her. I'm jumping off the first 1,000. I want the city of Baton Rouge, the way y'all support my events and my parties, flood whatever account I set up for her to get her baby buried. No, she ain't looking for nothing. She's not looking for nothing. I'm doing this. I wanted to do this. So I wanted to use my platform, like I always do for other stuff, to make sure her and her other kids are straight moving forward. If you see it in your heart, I don't care if it's $1, $5, $10, $100, $1,000, $5,000, whatever, donate to this. And when I tell you, I'm gonna appreciate it just as much as her, because this is what needed to happen yesterday. Nobody should bury their child, and especially somebody like her, who I know for a fact take care of all her kids. Like, she always makes sure they straight. She just dropped the baby as of this morning, and she lost the baby on yesterday. So Baton Rouge and surrounding areas, do what y'all need to do to support Courtney Daniels on this, man, because she deserved it, and I stand on it. Happy Thanksgiving.
Social media became a powerful tool for raising awareness and support. On platforms like TikTok, users shared videos expressing sympathy for the Daniels family and calling for action. The hashtag #Justice for Dylan began trending, amplifying the voices of those demanding accountability. Meanwhile, a GoFundMe campaign was launched to assist with funeral expenses and other needs. Donations poured in from across the country, surpassing the initial goal of $15,000 and raising over $35,000. Each contribution was a testament to the compassion and solidarity of strangers united by a shared desire to help a grieving family.
A million times we will miss you. A million times we will cry.
Dylan's funeral was a heartfelt reminder of his vibrant life. Mourners wore emerald green in his honor, the same color he wore in his Christmas photos before his death. Stories of his kindness and humor filled the air. Teachers, classmates, and neighbors celebrated the boy who had meaningfully touched their lives. Though his life had been tragically short, the impact he had on those around him was immeasurable. Courtland's dedication to her children and her strength in the face of adversity became a source of inspiration for the community. As she worked to rebuild her family's life, she carries the memory of Dylan, ensuring that his legacy would continue to shine. In the time that followed, Courtland remained steadfast in her commitment to her children's well-being, finding ways to honor Dylan's life while fostering a sense of hope and healing for her family. The loss of Dylan Daniels underscored the devastating human cost of gun violence, a reality that no family should have to endure. Yet, during this tragedy, the love and resilience of Courtland Daniels and her family stood as a testament to the strength of the human spirit.
An 8-year-old is now dead, with 2 of his siblings in the hospital recovering after their mother's car was struck multiple times by bullets. The 3 juveniles were caught in the crossfire.
Right now, that might impede our investigation or any arrest that we have. But the black car you mentioned is the one that's shot numerous times, and that's where the victims were.
In the days following the shooting, Baton Rouge Police Chief T.J. Morse addressed the media, expressing his sorrow over the tragic loss of young Dylan Daniels. Chief Morse described the incident as a senseless act of violence that had shaken the community to its core. "This is a heartbreaking reminder of the devastation that gun violence can cause," he said during a press conference. "We are committed to finding all those responsible and ensuring justice is served for the Daniels family." He also urged the community to come forward with any information, emphasizing that solving such cases requires a collective effort. The mayor-president of Baton Rouge, Sharon Weston Broome, also reacted to the shooting, sending out her heartfelt sympathies to the Daniels family. She stated that there will be no rest until the perpetrators of this violence are brought to justice.
Children who ran into a shop bleeding and terrified in the aftermath of the shooting.
Can't really see it, but they still got shots like in the side of the building, like that's right where we be standing at.
Detectives spent Thanksgiving morning canvassing the Scotlandville neighborhood, looking for clues in the shooting that took the life of 8-year-old Dylan Daniels.
Correct, they'll never look at this time the same again.
Baton Rouge police say around 2:20 Wednesday afternoon, Courtland Daniels was driving a Honda Accord with 5 of her children inside when someone fired more than 20 shots at the car. Daniels and 2 of his siblings were hit. The family had just left the barbershop when the gunfire began. It continued following Daniels as she made her way around the block and then crashed into a tree near the shop. The injured kids ran back into the barber shop, and Dylan Daniels collapsed at barber Braylon Canty's feet.
The little one that didn't make it, like he was sitting like right in front of me. I'm really like holding him. I'm like, I'm on the phone with the ambulance trying to, get some further instructions. And I laid him out. They told me not to have nothing undone. I'm really like with him the whole time. I didn't want to leave him. His mom, she was upset, crying. She asked me, is he gone? I'm telling her no, because I'm assuming like he's still showing signs of life. He's still kind of breathing. He still got a pulse or whatever. So I'm telling them he ain't got nothing to worry about. And then when I got the news, it crushed me immediately because I felt like I could have did more.
Eyewitness accounts from the scene painted a harrowing picture of the moments leading up to and following the shooting. One of the eyewitnesses, the barber Braylon Canty, was visibly shaken as he told reporters that the kids ran into the barbershop bleeding and crying, and Diellen collapsed right in front of him. Another eyewitness described seeing a dark vehicle speeding away from the scene. This detail later proved critical in identifying the suspects involved.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. First on News 2 at 6 o'clock, Baton Rouge police arrested 3 men for the murder of 8-year-old Dylan Daniels. Police say Daniels was one of 5 children in a car that Kendrick Prophet, Yancey Gerald Jr., Tramell Harris, and Roger Parker opened fire on last month. Parker remains at large at this hour.
In the wake of the tragic shooting that claimed the life of 8-year-old Dyellen Daniels in Baton Rouge, law enforcement agencies worked tirelessly to bring the perpetrators to justice. Their determined efforts resulted in the arrest of 3 suspects, with 1 individual still at large. The first major breakthrough came on December 10, 2024, with the arrest of 22-year-old Kendrick Prophet. Prophet was taken into custody after a search of his residence led officers to a sedan matching the description of the vehicle involved in the shooting. Despite his claims of innocence and denial of involvement, surveillance footage placed him at the scene, and further evidence linked him to the crime. Investigators discovered that Prophet had removed items from the car following the shooting, including a live round and a shell casing. Prophet now faces charges of first-degree murder, 5 counts of attempted first-degree murder, illegal use of weapons, and obstruction of justice. His arrest began a series of breakthroughs in this harrowing case. Shortly after Prophet's apprehension, law enforcement arrested 23-year-old Yancey Gerald Jr. on December 12, 2024, and 27-year-old Tramell Harris on December 13, 2024 and 2024. Both men face identical charges, including first-degree murder, 5 counts of attempted first-degree murder, illegal use of weapons, and obstruction of justice.
All being charged with the same crime because we have enough evidence to show that they were all part of the crime.
The arrests of Jarrell and Harris relieved the grieving Baton Rouge community and signaled that justice was being pursued with vigor.
Without him, Baton Rouge police are still searching for the last of 4 suspects wanted for his murder. 19-year-old Roger Parker has been on the run since that shooting. Police say he is the prime suspect in several other shootings. The investigative unit, Bess Casserly, has this message from BRPD for anyone who may know where he is, but...
Despite these arrests, 1 suspect remains on the run. Authorities have identified 19-year-old Roger Parker as the 4th individual involved in the shooting. Parker, who also faces charges of first-degree murder, attempted first-degree murder, illegal use of weapons, and obstruction of justice, continues to evade capture. Police Chief T.J. Morse had strong words for the fleeing suspect.
Message to Rogers and Harris, which he made this morning before Harris was arrested.
To the suspects, you know we have already hit a dozen locations. We are not going to stop looking for you with our state and federal partners. Wherever you try to go, we will continue to look for you and we will find you.
Stating, all 4 of these suspects have ties to one of our violent street groups, and it appears that they were trying to target another member of the violent street group. This revelation highlights the broader implications of gang violence and its devastating effects on innocent lives. While the arrests have brought solace to the Daniels family, the search for Roger Parker remains a top priority. The Baton Rouge Police Department continues to call for unity and vigilance to ensure that all responsible parties are held accountable. Authorities urged anyone with information to come forward, emphasizing the importance of community cooperation in achieving justice. For Cortland Daniels, the days and weeks following the shooting have become a blur of pain and perseverance. She now finds herself juggling the demands of caring for a newborn, supporting her injured children, and planning a funeral for D'Ellen. Each task is a reminder of the life stolen from her family, but it is also a testament to her resilience. In the face of this loss, Cortland has remained steadfast, her love for her children guiding her through the darkest hours. Her strength inspires those around her as she navigates the unthinkable with grace and determination. Through their journey, the Daniels family has shown that while grief may leave its mark, the bonds of love and the power of collective action ultimately define us. Their story continues to inspire, serving as a beacon of hope for others facing their own struggles. Thank you for joining us in exploring this heartbreaking case. If you found this story impactful, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Together we can shine a light on these tragedies and push for a safer future. Stay safe, and we'll see you in the next story.
Don't forget to like the video and let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our upcoming true crime stories.